Greetings, fellow Whovians. Whovian Queen here. Hope I have a good week so far. Well, last week I took a look at the final episode of the Ninth Doctor era, and now it's time to count down my top 10 favorite stories from that era. So, here we go. Starting up at number 10 is Boomtown. Yeah, this episode just kind of, my personal opinion. There's really not much to it. I mean, the Slithian are in it, whoop-de-doo. But there's really not much to it and stuff like that. So, for me, it's just kind of meh at best. So, yeah. Anyway, coming in at number 9 is Father's Day. Now, this episode is number 9 for a reason, and that is because of the Reapers. Like, we never see them again at all. Apparently, they're supposed to show up when someone messes around with fixed points in time, and yet we see that happen pretty much a lot in the show, and yet they never show back up. So, really? Like, what was the point of introducing them if they weren't going to show up again? Seriously? I don't get it. But anyway, moving on to number 8, Aliens of London. Now, this episode introduces us to the Slitheen, and it also, well, it's also interesting because of the fact that, well, apparently the Doctor was supposed to bring Rose back sometime after she left, but instead it was a little bit longer, and everyone starts panicking about Rose, like, oh my gosh, are you okay? We thought something bad happened to you, blah, 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 blah. And, like, Mickey was thought to have murdered Rose, even though we all know that never happened, but still, it's like, really, Doctor? Really? But then again, he has had issues with the TARDIS before, so, yeah. Anyway, moving on to number 7 is World War III, which is the episode after Aliens of London. And yes, I am ranking two-part episodes as their own individual episode, so, well, actually, you know what I mean, but anyway. But yeah, World War III, it is kind of interesting. Harriet Jones is in this episode. Of course, we all know what happens to her in Series 4, am I right? Yeah. Or actually Series 2, but yeah, when then Series 4 comes around, well, yeah, we all know what happened to her in the end. But anyway, yeah, World War III, it is an interesting episode, and yeah, but still, just as a disclaimer, I'm not a huge fan of the Slitheen, so, yeah. Anyway, moving on to number 6, The Empty Child. The introduction of Captain Jack Harkness, and, well, also being really, really freaking scary because of those gosh darn children with the gas masks. Like, those gas mask children are just freaking crazy. I mean, seriously. Especially with them constantly saying, "Are you my mommy?" That is freaky. So, yeah. Anyway, moving on to number 5, The Doctor Dances. Now, this episode is actually really touching, especially considering the fact that this is the one where the Doctor says, "Just this once, everybody lives!" Like, that just makes me so happy every time I see that clip on the internet. It's just like, oh, Doctor, you are so good. Like, oh my gosh. Like, yeah. This Doctor definitely knows what he's up to, so, yeah. And he's just a very kind and, well, I wouldn't say kind, but, you know, he has his moments, definitely, so, yeah. Anyway, moving on to number 4, The End of the World. Now, this is the second episode of Series 1. It takes place right after Rose, obviously, and we get introduced to Cassandra. Yay, not a big fan. But, yeah, this episode, again, definitely has its moments, and, yeah, that's all I'm going to say about it, so, yeah. And also shows the planet Earth basically going bye-bye, so, yeah, but in the near future, so, yeah. Anyway, moving on to number 3, Bad Wolf. Yes, this is the penultimate episode of Series 1. We find out that the Daleks are still around, and we get to see the Doctor and Company in various different versions of reality shows, like the Doctor's in Big Brother, Rose is in Weakest Link, and Jack is in What Not to Wear. And let's just say that the android, well, yeah, she disintegrates people and we're supposed to believe that they're dead, but hey, that's not really true, is it? So, yeah. Anyway, moving on to number 2, The Parting of the Ways, the final Ninth Doctor story, and boy howdy is it awesome. Especially with the revelation of the whole Bad Wolf thing showing up multiple times throughout the series. It really does a good job of showing that, and that's pretty cool. So, yeah, and also the Doctor sacrificing himself in order to save Rose from the effects of the time vortex. That was really nice of him, and it was very well handled. And finally, number 1 is Dalek. Yes, the reappearance of the Daleks after so many years, and it is awesome. And the fact that it's only one Dalek, it's like, wow. But yeah, this one Dalek, he knows what's up, and yeah. And of course, unfortunately, this is the episode that introduces us to the character of Adam, but we don't talk about him, so yeah. But anyway, it's still a good episode nonetheless, and yeah, the fact that one Dalek says to the Doctor, like, you would make a good Dalek. Yeah, that's kind of a little freaky there, isn't it? Anyway, so those are my top 10 Ninth Doctor stories. Now I want to hear from you guys. What are your favorite Ninth Doctor episodes? Let me know all that stuff down in the comment section below. And if you want to help me make better videos, then you can support me on my Patreon page. I'll put a link to it down in the description below. And tune in next week as we take a look at the era of the 10th Doctor, played by the always awesome David Tennant. So, until next week, this is Who Being Queen saying, oh my giddy aunt! When I say run, run! I'm Versapilary, the neutron flow. Would you like a jelly baby? Fantastic! Allons-y! Geronimo! Bow ties are cool, fences are cool, and Stetsons are cool.